Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent and most merciful God, I bear witness that there is but one God whose proper name is Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. We're indeed thankful to Allah for his intervention in our affairs by coming to us in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom holy praise is due forever. We thank him for raising from among us a divine messenger, one whom we believe to be the Messiah, the exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank them both for giving us an extension of themselves, and our divine reminder and warner, our champion of truth, freedom, justice, and equality, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It's in those three great names I'd like to greet you, brothers and sisters, in the nation's greetings of peace and paradise. We say in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone?
Fine, sir.
All praises are due to Allah. I'm fine myself, striving hard to make my word bond, fighting for Islam because I know we will surely win. The victory is already set for us. Brothers and sisters, you know, we want to first and foremost give thanks to Allah for our assistant ministers who was on the rostrum before me and the words that they spoke. Let's give them a well-deserved round of applause. And as we know, we don't commercialize on any of the enemy's holidays.
Not at all.
But taking in consideration atmosphere and the effects of atmosphere,
Right.
and the attracting power that our oppressor has over the minds of many of our people, we have to acknowledge Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are in the audience, that are hearing my voice. We thank Allah for you, but we know that being a mother is more than just one day. And this is why we don't commercialize on it in the sense of we're going to give flowers and this, that, and the other. The more we mature into the understanding and value of the black woman, and the understanding and value of women, period, in relationship to our Creator, the more we'll value her every day.
Right.
And we know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's one of the titles, is teaching us day in and day out how to respect and protect the black woman. So I don't want to, even though our lecture today is focused around the black woman, I don't want anyone to be dismayed in thinking that we only use one day out of the year to honor mother. No, I just want to be clear, because I know we're going Facebook Live. We will kill for our black women. It ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes about it. It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to us what she has done in the past. We know from the root of our existence that we couldn't stand, we couldn't be, we couldn't breathe if it wasn't for this black woman. So it has to be made known to the world. It has to be made known first and foremost to the black man, not just in word but in action, that our women have to be made secure. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually, morally, have to be made secure. So I wanted to take time as we get ready to delve into the subject matter and give honor and thanks to Allah for two of our believers in the Nation of Islam, who I would call them wonderful believers of our nation. The first one is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This past May 11th marked 85 years of our brother minister being on this earth. His 85th birth anniversary was May 11th. And we are thankful to Allah for blessing us with one with such a spirit to have in our home called the planet Earth.
Yes.
We are taught in the Nation of Islam the earth is the home of those who are obedient to God. The whole planet. And when we learn that, we have to understand that geographical location doesn't identify us. The whole planet belongs to the people whose origin is from God. And the more we get in tune with being obedient to God, we can go anywhere on the earth and talk like we talk on Nostrand Avenue. Talk like we talk on Picking Avenue. Talk like we talk on Rockaway Avenue. Talk like we talk on Flatbush and Nostrand. Talk like we talk on Church Avenue. Talk like we talk in Boston. Talk like we talk in Chicago. No matter where we go, but representing high civilization.
That's right.
So I say that to say it doesn't matter if we were born in Trinidad, or we was born in Jamaica, or we was born in Belize, or we was born in Africa and made our way over to America. We don't identify in holding on to the geographical location. We have to grow to identify in holding on to the Creator who created all of this, because if we belong to Him, we belong, all of this belongs to us. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is very dear to me in my heart. Hey, look, I bear witness, yes, but I hold him very dear in my heart. And the more Allah blesses me to grow and understand who and what I'm looking at in that man, the more I have to give honor to Allah, give honor to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and thank Allah over and over again for this man, Farrakhan. In the Holy Quran, in Surah 25, it kind of identifies our brother, Farrakhan. The top chapter is entitled Al-Furqan. And the first verse says, "Blessed is he who sent down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations." That's what we have in Minister Farrakhan. A warner to the nations. So this verse to me defines Minister Farrakhan's relationship to Allah and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad among us. In Surah 85, marking the 85th year of his life on this planet Earth, it says, "By the heaven full of stars, and the promised day, and the bearers of witness that to which witness is born." See, this brother is among the stars of Allah from out of the jury box of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. There are many stars in the Nation of Islam, but this star is that star that comes right before the dawn, right before morning, right before the sun rises. His light gets lost right up in the light of the sun, who is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank Allah for this divine, beloved man, Minister Louis Farrakhan. The second person, believer, wonderful believer from among us, who is among the stars, is our mother. Mother Tainetta Muhammad. Her birthday was May 12th. And may Allah be forever pleased with her. But we could not go on and not be making proper significance or acknowledgement of Mother Tainetta Muhammad. I'm sorry, brother, was it the 12th? The 10th. It was the 10th, thank you. I'm sorry. Her birthday was May 10th. Right before Minister Farrakhan's birthday. But the Holy Quran, when I look into it and think of Mother Tainetta Muhammad, it's these verses in Surah 19. "And mention Mary in the book, when she drew aside from her family to an eastern place. So she screened herself from them. Then we sent to her our spirit, and it appeared to her as a well-made man." This verse to me describes Mother Tainetta Muhammad from the way that I see her. Because she screened herself away from her family to be a part of the Nation of Islam and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad at the young age of 16. And at a certain point, we sent to her our spirit in the form of a well-made man named Elijah Muhammad. I thank Allah for what he has brought through Mother Tanetta Muhammad to help us in our studies, but show us the piousness of the black woman when she is in obedience to God through the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So these are some of the stars, and all of us are stars, especially when we're obedient to God. And when you look up at the constellation of the stars, you see the order of God. There's no star out of place. Every night when you look up and you see the star, you don't see nothing out of place, because all of the stars are in obedience to the Creator. But those stars serve you and I. So imagine if we get in obedience to our Creator, how we would not be out of place, but we would be in our proper place. And that's what time it is for us today. God wants to put us in our proper place. So our subject matter is the woman and God's hidden knowledge. You know, brothers and sisters, as we thought about this subject matter, I had something totally different in mind for today. And then last week, my brother reminded me, he said, brother, you know Sunday is Mother's Day. And I was like, you know what, brother? It was in my mind a few days ago, but it slipped my mind by last Sunday. And I think part of it is because I'm growing up in the Nation of Islam. And so it's like I'm so far removed from just honoring black women on a certain day. I'm just telling you, brothers, this ain't no play stuff. This is not phony. We are taught to love our black women. So it's not, you know, it's almost like blinking my eyes. We cover down. But, you know, at times, you know, there's so much going on, we can get distracted. So I said, well, you know, I'll incorporate something into the lecture. And then by a day or two later, as I was studying, I said, no, I got something else I'm gonna bring by Allah's grace. And that's when the subject matter hit of the woman and God's hidden knowledge. And of course, this is from me studying the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Those of us who have been awakened to the knowledge of self and others give praise and thanks to Almighty God Allah for blessing us, black people in America, with a divine leader, a divine teacher, and witness bearer to the presence of Muhammad and Christ in his guidance to us today in the personage of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We wouldn't know Muhammad the way we know him today if it wasn't for that man. We wouldn't know Christ the way we know him today if it wasn't for that man. We would not be able to see that one reflects the other and the other reflects the one if it wasn't for that man. Minister Farrakhan is an extension of the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The more our people know about Minister Louis Farrakhan throughout America, the better we will know and understand the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It is easy to condemn without knowing. And the Bible, as well as the Holy Quran, describe the black man and woman of America as a people who generally condemn without knowledge. That's right, brother. We are described as being stiff-necked, hard-hearted, rebellious, easily led in the wrong direction, hard as hell to lead in the right direction, ignorant, arrogant, and proud of it. But we don't see it saying black people. But when you study us, that's us. And it comes from a slave mentality. It's not the true part of us, but it's that part that has been subtly imprinted on us by following someone else's mentality. Black people are the first ones to really criticize, quick to condemn their own, quick to judge their own, quick to prejudge, but that's not the real part of black people. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But I know that we're constantly being stirred in that kind of mentality. And now with social media, it even comes more so. Social media has its plus, but it sure has its minuses. And if we are not really in a proper knowledge of self and walking the walk as we talk the talk, we can easily be distracted because Satan is very busy. Satan is very busy. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is God's teacher and warner among us today. The black man and woman has had a very, very bad experience with religion and politics. Consequently, as they grow politically mature and come into awareness of self and awareness of the tricks that have been used through the white man's religion and politics to enslave the black man, we generally tend to move away from all religions in a very extreme move. We don't want to hear nothing about no religion. Now we getting to the point we want to hear nothing about no politics. But it's written in the scripture, Jesus said, all that came before me were thieves and robbers. However, Satan is so slick, he got everybody looking 2,000 years backwards at what Jesus said and thinking it happened at that time, so you'll miss it right in front of your face. Even in the church, our brothers and sisters, our pastors, our reverends, our ministers, our bishops see that the church is dying. And they see why it's dying. But some of them are seeing from colored lenses. They see that the people are not coming out like they used to. They see that the politician is taking more control of the church than the pastor or the minister or the bishop. They see that the community is going down, but what they have to understand is that heaven dictates to the earth don't dictate to heaven. And when you look at the effect of the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars on this planet Earth, you have to see it not only from that physical counterpart, but from a metaphysical level, which is spiritual, and understand that the men and women of the cloth represent heaven. And the men and women of politics represent earth. And the tides have to change to whereas the men and the women of the cloth take their rightful place to dictate to the politician and dictate to the people instead of it being the other way around. These faith-based organizations are tricks of the enemy to lure us in to allowing him to have control over the finances of the house by offering us through a faith-based initiative property, money, but there's a string attached. So Jesus said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and render unto God what is God's. We have to get our people to move back to having more trust in the true God, the true religion, and real politics, righteous politics. So what is the true God and what is the true religion? Obedience to God is the true religion. See, you thought I was going to say Islam. That is Islam. All praises are due to Allah. See, because brothers and sisters, whether it's Christianity, Islam, whether it's Judaism, whether it's just I'm just spiritual, if you're striving to be obedient to God to the best of your ability and knowledge, then you are following the true religion. That's right. That's right. Because all of the prophets preached obedience to God. That's right. Everything they said God told them to say. Is that right? So if they were saying what God told them to say, then they were in obedience to God and was trying to call the people to be in obedience to God. And Islam means submission. So this moving away from religion and politics based off of the tricks of Caucasian people in religion and in politics, this is proving to be detrimentally harmful to our survival as a nation and people. The black family in particular and poor people in general are under extreme attack today. And the answer to our problem is more spiritual than it is political. Throughout all of our research, There has never been an oppressed people that received their salvation of freedom, justice, and equality through politics. Then no, it's not going to happen. It's never happened.
That's right.
Now, I'm not against voting, but don't shove down my throat that because I didn't vote, I'm in the condition I'm in. My community's in the condition it's in. No, I voted when I said I bear witness there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And I would think it would be safe for me to believe that any Christian that says that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whomsoever believe in him shall have everlasting life. Well, if you believe that, then why worry about who's president? Why worry about whether it's male or female president? Why worry about who's going to be the governor? When you know you believe in God. If the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. If he making me to lie down in green pastures, then why would I be concerned about Trump? Why would I be concerned about Barack Obama? Why would I be concerned about Bush? Why would I be concerned about the governor of the state or the mayor of the city? When I know I got God, unless I don't have a proper understanding of God. Unless I've been tricked about God. And tricked about politics. And definitely that's what has been done, because Satan is recognized in the scriptures as the arch deceiver. And when you see the word arch deceiver or arch in anything connecting to another word, that means master. Master of deception. And none of us can say, if we're humble in our heart, that we can't be deceived. You can tell by how many relationships you've had. I'm not trying to be personal, but that lets you know, yeah, you can be deceived.